Hey, what's up people? I just wanted to do a quick video about my Victorinox collection again. Since the last time, a couple things have changed, and yeah, I want to talk about these changes in this video. When I made my Victorinox collection video, I realized that I want to give a little bit more love to my Victorinox knives because I have been neglecting them quite a bit. And I wanted them to be a little bit more colorful and not as boring. So, first things first, I retired my 2017 Alox Pioneer because I don't like the Pioneer as a model that much anyway. So, I will retire this knife. And I bought myself a limited edition green Alox Farmer, which was relatively inexpensive because these knives are a couple $100 on the secondary market now, and this one is not. You can also see that the 2017 green is very light in color, so meaning if you carry this a lot it will fade quite a bit and it will turn to silver pretty rapidly. So I will put this away and save it, maybe sell it one day, maybe carry it, I don't know yet. Yeah. We'll see. But I wanted to have a green model that I can carry without worrying about the value of it. And so I got this one. Like I said, it was relatively cheap. This is just a Farmer. It's probably my favorite Alox model, I guess. And yeah, it's a very beautiful green. So I still have my regular silver Alox Farmer, which I really like. Nothing has changed, and I'm still gonna use my Pioneer and Companion, Pioneer X that is. So this one has the scissors, this one has the bladeless tool, so basically just a box opener instead of a blade, and the scissors. So these are my go-to Alox models, I guess. No more Pioneer. Also, I retired my small Tinker because I realized that the 84mm are not in production anymore. I didn't know that. So this is my titanium small Tinker, which as a model, I don't like the Tinker as much anymore than I used to. The Tinker used to be my favorite model, but I don't like it that much anymore. But I will save this one. I was about to sell it, but then I realized these are no longer in production, so the value has increased of these. And yeah, sadly I have already put different scales on there. Would like to have one with plastic scales, even though these titanium scales are very beautiful. But yeah, this one is gone, this one is retired. And another Alox that I really like that has replaced my Cadet. So here's my, here's my Cadet. Cadet is retired also. I will sell this because I don't need a Cadet. The Cadet is overrated in my opinion. It's an 84mm with a file, but the Bantam does everything the Cadet does. It's just slimmer, lighter, easier to carry, and yeah. You can get a Cadet very easily because it's so widely available, so I don't worry about having one. I put some modifications on my Bantam because I felt like the Bantam is a really classy knife, so I did some file work on the spine. I'm not super satisfied with the file work on the blade, but I really like the file work that I did on the combo tool. I think this turned out beautifully. So because I like the file work so much that I did on the combo tool, I also put the file work on my Compact. The Compact, as you might know, was my favorite model this year, or last year actually, 2025. And I made some modifications to it. I put the Fisherman scale on there. So this is the exact same scale that goes on the Fisherman. I don't have a Fisherman, I just found these scales online but they are the exact same scales, and yeah, I really like the detail. I think it's a lot more interesting and beautiful that way. Also changed the toothpick and pliers for black ones. You don't get the pen in a different color. The pen is only available in gray. I put some fire starter thing on here, but I still have the screwdriver for glasses because I like to have one of those. I carry a lighter every day, so I don't worry about not having a fire steel. Other than that, it's the same. I just put some file work on the combo tool. I changed the scales and yeah. I like the contrast of the black toothpick. I think it looks really good. The compact, still one of my favorite models. After my collection video, I realized I have to get another Super Tinker. I really missed it. Now that I have it, I don't need it as much as I thought I would need it, because the Super Tinker, of course, is the exact same thing than the Climber, just with the three-dimensional Phillips on the back. And I don't prefer the Phillips anymore to the corkscrew. I used to, but I don't do anymore. I really like the corkscrew. But I have a Climber back, so it has these scissors. It's a Spartan with a scissor, or it's a Tinker, I should say, with a scissor. And I replaced the scales, of course, and put some green accents on here. I think it looks really good that way. Also have a, come on, focus please. I have a black keyring on here. Also on my compact, I did the same thing. So I changed out the silver ring for a black ring. So the model that I prefer to the Super Tinker is the Climber. Always has been, actually. This is my most carried Victorinox, I think, that I still have. Trying to find the scales. So this one, if you might remember from my collection video, had the translucent red scales on here. This knife is from the 90s, I think. I was born in the 90s and I have been carrying this particular knife since I was a kid, so it is for sure from the 90s or older. And so I changed the scales because I don't really like the red translucent scales. Kind of regretted it because the scales, I mean, they were on there solidly. It was difficult to get them off. With some of the newer Victorinox knives, you can just pry them off with your fingernails, but these old ones, I mean, they were on there. Probably because of how long they have been on this knife. So yeah, it was very, very hard to get them off. But I like how this came out with the black scales. I think it looks very classy. I put some blue accents on there. And again, the fire starter material and the pin for the SIM card. Yeah, the Climber is probably my favorite Victorinox overall. I think it's the perfect knife. I like the compact, and the compact was my favorite in 2025, but sometimes I miss the secondary pen blade on the compact. I really like this secondary smaller blade. It's really great for whittling and detail work. And it's nice if you want to have a sharp knife blade always, in addition to your larger one that you use. So yeah, I think the Climber is the best Victorinox, the best free layer Victorinox at least. So I kind of prefer it to the Super Tinker now. And this one, like I said, I've been carrying this since I was a little kid, so this has been in my pocket for 20 plus years, I guess. And in and out, I guess. There were a couple of years where I didn't carry it, but yeah, overall, the most long-term carried Victorinox that I have. and yeah, the climber is perfect. Now I got myself a new model that I've never had before, and that is the Mountaineer. I've never experienced the Mountaineer. The Mountaineer is basically a climber with the additional file. You could also say it's a huntsman without the saw but the file. But yeah, it has the wood and metal file. Never tried the Mountaineer before, so I was excited to get it. And I immediately put blue scales in here. I wanted to have more color and also wanted it to be easier when I look in my drawer. I want to exactly know which color is which knife, so I don't have to search through, you know, a million different red knives. So, and the red Victorinox color is still probably the best looking, but it's nice to have some variation, I guess. So I put some red accents on here, and on this one I actually put the fire steel on there. I think this one is sort of glow in the dark also. At least the fire starting material sometimes, yeah, this one is glow in the dark. It's sometimes also very reflective under certain lights, but the fire steel is also glow in the dark, which helps you if you drop your knife. Yeah, really enjoy the Mountaineer so far. Like I said, it's a huntsman without the saw, and yeah, it's a beautiful knife. I really like it. And I like the blue much more in person. I never had a blue Victorinox. I like it much more in person than in pictures. I found one of the older knives. In my collection video I talked about the old knives that I'm still missing from my childhood, I guess, and I found one of the Explorers that I had when I was a kid, and yeah, so I have myself another Explorer again, and this one is a little bit beat up, needs some cleaning. The blades are very dull on here. Oh yeah, the blade is extremely damaged. Pen blade has some corrosion on it for some reason. And yeah, I changed the front scale on here. The back scale is still the original red scale. I need to find a different combination because red and purple don't go well together that much. I need to find something that I can put on the back. I was thinking about white at first, putting a white back scale on here, but I don't like the white and purple combo. I will find a different color, I guess. How did I get a purple scale? I colored it myself. This is a Rit dye Victorinox job that I did myself. I'm gonna do a video about Rit dyeing Victorinox scales very soon, I think, because it's actually possible. As you can see, it is possible. So this is a nice purple that I did, and yeah, like I said, I'm still working on this one. I have not figured out how to do the back scale, and yeah, I'm not sure which color will go well together with it. But I'm gonna rebuild this Explorer because I like the Explorer. It's a nice 4-layer model. Yeah, it's kind of weird that this one is thicker than the Mountaineer, but that makes sense because it has the Phillips, and that takes more space. Even though it's a 4-layer, it's thicker. Now, yeah, I also changed the scales on my Rambler. As you might know, the Rambler is my favorite keychain knife from Victorinox, and I changed the red scales for green scales. Now, I wish Victorinox would still make the green scales. They don't, but I really like the green, and I wanted to make sure to have at least one green knife in my Victorinox collection, since they are not making these scales anymore. I hope they will come back with a green color, because this was their most beautiful scale that you can buy, I think. It's a nice bottle British racing green kind of color. I left the toothpick original in the original colors because I think it goes well together with the green. So there's that. Still use my Spartan, my beat up Spartan without scales. Have not replaced the scales. Probably never will. I like the way I like it the way it looks, and it's beat up. It's still still in a shitty condition, and I like it that way. Changed my outdoor Victorinox, my go-to outdoor Victorinox, from the Hiker. So the Hiker Spartan with a saw, basically, and the Phillips, or you could say a Tinker with a saw, actually. Yeah, basically it's a Tinker with a saw. I changed it to the Camper. The Camper is the exact same knife, just with the corkscrew. And I like the additional corkscrew for having the fire steel kit on here, and also for undoing knots. So the corkscrew, I actually kind of prefer it right now. I also did secondary pins on all of these, so each one of these has a pin in the scale, which is nice. I'm not sure if I will get the... I probably don't need it, but there are modifications where you have like a easier to grab pin. I don't really need it though. Maybe it's more difficult with gloves on, but with fingernails it's or with out gloves it's completely fine. But yeah, I'm not sure if the Camper will be my ultimate Victorinox outdoor knife. Usually I use my Farmer or the Camper now, but I've been thinking about getting one of the larger ones that has a bigger saw, because this saw is not so usable, I think, in this size range. So yeah, I might change my mind about this, but the Hiker I will sell together with my Cadet, because I don't need them anymore. So yeah, these are my go-to Victorinox knives at the moment. Most carried for sure, the Climber and the Compact. These are my favorite ones at the moment. And to be honest, the Climber is my all-time favorite Victorinox currently. It's the best. I thought about it. I really like the Compact, but the Climber is my preferred knife in the end. So yeah, that's it for this video, I guess. Thank you guys for watching, and I will do more Victorinox videos in the future, I guess. Goodbye.